1942. The turning tides of war. Step into 1942, a year of brutal battles and global shifts. The war reaches new levels of destruction and determination. Allied powers begin to fight back, and cracks appear in Axis strength. January 1942. 26 nations, including the United States, Britain and the Soviet Union, sign the Declaration of the United Nations. They agree to fight together until the Axis powers are defeated, a powerful alliance is formed, and unity among allies grows stronger. Key figures: Franklin D. Roosevelt, US President; Winston Churchill, British Prime Minister; Joseph Stalin, Soviet leader. February 1942. Japan captures Singapore from British control. Thousands of Allied soldiers are taken prisoner. One of the worst defeats in British military history. Japanese power spreads rapidly across Southeast Asia. March 1942. Japanese forces continue advancing in the Pacific. The Philippines fall under Japanese control. US and Filipino troops suffer heavy losses. General Douglas MacArthur retreats with a promise to return. April 1942. The Doolittle raid is launched by the United States. American bombers strike Tokyo and other Japanese cities. The raid boosts American morale. Japan is shocked that its homeland could be attacked. James Doolittle, US Air Commander. Emperor Hirohito of Japan. May 1942. The Battle of the Coral Sea begins. The first naval battle fought entirely by aircraft from carriers. Japan fails to invade Port Moresby in New Guinea. Allied forces gain hope despite losses. June 1942. The Battle of Midway takes place in the Pacific. The United States sinks 4 Japanese aircraft carriers, a major turning point in the Pacific War. Japan loses its naval advantage. Chester Nimitz, U.S. Naval Commander. Isoroku Yamamoto, Japanese Admiral, July 1942. German troops reach Stalingrad in the Soviet Union. Fierce fighting begins in the streets of the city. Stalingrad becomes a center of brutal and decisive combat. Both sides suffer massive losses. August 1942. US Marines land on Guadalcanal in the Solomon Islands. The first major Allied offensive in the Pacific begins. Guadalcanal marks the start of the island-hopping campaign. Japan faces a determined new resistance. September 1942. Battle in Stalingrad intensifies. With a house-to-house combat, Soviet forces refuse to surrender. The city becomes a symbol of Soviet strength and survival. October 1942. The Second Battle of El Alamein begins in North Africa. British forces led by General Montgomery push back Axis troops. A key victory for the Allies in the desert. Germany begins to retreat from North Africa. Bernard, Montgomery, British General Erwin Rommel, German commander, November 1942. The Allies launch Operation Torch. American and British forces land in Morocco and Algeria. A new front opens in North Africa. Axis forces are caught between advancing Allied armies. December 1942. Soviet forces launch a major counter-offensive at Stalingrad. German troops begin to face encirclement. The tide turns on the Eastern Front. Germany begins to lose momentum. Why 1942 was a turning point. The year began with Axis victories, but ended with rising hope for the Allies. Japan was stopped in the Pacific. Germany faced growing resistance in Russia and North Africa. The global conflict entered a new phase of struggle and change. Key figures of 1942. Franklin D. Roosevelt leading American strength. Winston Churchill guiding British resistance. Joseph Stalin standing firm at Stalingrad. Admiral Nimitz changing the course in the Pacific. General Montgomery turning the Desert War. Like, comment below. Which battle of 1942 think was the most important?